something in comic news. And the reason I brought this one up is because of Stephen DeKnight. I'll be honest. Like, I've read comics for a really long time, off and on, and there's not many writers that I know by name, but I recognize the name Stephen DeKnight. You know,
that's a shame that he quit. Then
he is a very former Daredevil executive producer and Marvel Comics writer. He's been involved in big name comics, and so this particular story though that he quit over about this editor-in-chief pretending to be Asian to further his career is actually a story that broke about a year or two ago, but apparently he just now found out about it. Yeah, here somebody actually replied to Stephen DeKnight's twit saying, unfortunately, this has been known ever since 2017 and nothing happened. So it will be interesting to see if anything happens with a big name like Stephen DeKnight actually leaving Marvel due to it.
You know my sentiment. Like I told you, we were talking about it before the show, that I'm like, I don't like it when somebody demands someone else be fired. I have always felt that's a bit of that gets into cancel style stuff. And if it was something like the Cosby Suite, like some of that Blizzard nonsense, I'm like, okay, while what I heard is pretty messed up, that the guy supposedly pretended to be Asian and further his career, I'm like, I don't think that's quite a I demand this person to be fired scenario for someone that's not even Asian. It kind of feels a little, you know what? Stephen DeKnight feels like he's kind of Stephen White Knighting, okay? Sorry. You know, like, I mean, if it was somebody in that group offended, at least it would seem a little bit more, but I'm kind of like,
No, but I also understand taking a moral stance, and I'll be honest, if somebody further their career, especially, you know, when it's somebody that, with an editor-in-chief, you know, that's somebody you have to work with as a writer, and...
if he works directly with them, I guess that's different. I didn't know how close they were. Like, if it's somebody he's working with personally, and you're going like, I don't want to work with this guy. Okay, no, all right, that's different.
And I mean, I understand taking a stance there, and honestly, it is sort of weird. And it's not even the whole that he pretended to be Asian. It's the whole thing of, if you lie to further your career, and then it comes out that you lied to further your career, how is nothing done about that?
Yeah, that's to me. Is how was he not already canceled? Yeah. I'm like, I just hate the idea that Stephen DeKnight's not working. I mean, I won't lie. Some of it is you told me you like the guy. That made me go like, dang, I hate that he's not working because of this guy. Yeah. It feels like the guy's causing more harm because now Stephen DeKnight stepped down and he's calling for other people to step down. And it's like, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks to have, you know, talented writers having to step down. And if they didn't fire him before, are they going to do it now? Because, I mean, when have they cared about our classic writers? I mean, you know how they've been treating them the last few years. They've been replacing them. Let me not get on that tip. They've been replacing them with an interesting new group of people very frequently that aren't very experienced. So my fear is they're going to hire somebody cheaper that doesn't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, you've seen the crap comics that have been coming out, and Marvel especially has been having crap comics come out. So this kind of leads me to go, are they just going to use this to replace them, or are they going to bow to pressure? They haven't been listening to us. Maybe they'll listen to Stephen DeKnight, but they haven't been listening to the fans and the customers.
Yeah. I mean, he was actually involved in writing several episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, Smallville. So, I mean, he's been behind a lot of stuff.
I mean, it's just a shame that he's got to step down to do this, and that nobody. But my problem is, if it's been out for a year, they're not doing anything.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, they already sort of passed on that buck. So,
but I also feel like I just don't like. Yeah, I'll stand by what I said earlier too. I just don't like anybody demanding someone else's job.
I can understand that,
because it isn't that he said just like I'm gonna step down because I don't approve of this. He said I'm gonna step down until you fired this guy. That's where I went. Don't demand someone be fired. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't like when you go fire that guy. I mean, dude, I pulled my money from companies. You know that. I've got grudges. But I never demanded anybody in particular be fired. Me and Blood Axe will not support Star Wars. We're not demanding that Kathleen Kennedy be fired. We just said we're not going to spend our money.
Well,
but I've never campaigned. I've never signed anything for her to be fired.
Well, and he didn't campaign or do anything like that. He just said, "I'm not going to work with this while this guy's here."
He also said, "I encourage other."
Well, he did say you are right.
He's campaigning for this man's job,
right.
and I cannot support that, or I'm a hypocrite if I do. So I can't.
Okay.
I have to go. No, man. You want to step down? Fine. You can say, "I have my principles." Don't say, "But fire that guy and I'll be right back."
I can agree with that.
I mean, if Blood Axe doesn't demand Kathleen Kennedy be fired, then he doesn't get to do it.
Does he not?
No, but tell him, man.
No, I've always said cancel Kathleen Kennedy. I never said fire Kathleen Kennedy.
True.
I said I hope that they don't renew her contract. I never said I hope that they cancel her contract. No, I've always been very, very upfront about not losing employment because I don't agree with you. You do something that breaks the law or breaks your corporate policies, then that's a completely different story. But no, I've never said that. I disagree with the shit that she's created, and I refuse to support her. In what she's doing with Indiana Jones is a different story, but I'm not going to support that mess either. But no, I agree. I've never campaigned or advocated for anyone to lose their job unless it does something to deserve it.
All right.
Yeah, we've always had the stance of she can go make whatever the hell else she wants, just stop Star Wars. We're just like, please stop making Star Wars. That's where we've always been.